Hey guys, so it's been a long time since I did a Crosstour video. There really hasn't been too many changes. I didn't do anything additional until now. And today we're gonna do a daylight running light LED covers for the fog light and a side marker slash turn signal connection mod. So I know that there has been very little information on the Crosstour forum about this stuff, so I wanted to make sure I make a video for everybody to see and decide if they want to do this kind of stuff or not. Now, there's a pillar in front of me right now, and there's a light on the pillar. And you see the light spread is actually very high. These, in fact, are not the high beams. These, in fact, are the LED daylight running lights, and only the LED daylight running lights that's currently on right now. If I turn the car off, it goes away, and so you can see that it does act almost like a fog light slash low beam in terms of the spread, but it doesn't really illuminate that much, right? It is really bright for a daylight running light, but it doesn't actually do anything too much in actual nighttime driving conditions. That being said, so far I'm liking it. I might put a little bit of cloudy cover on top, maybe like a Plasti Dip smoke or something like that, so the light will still show up during the daytime, but it won't really like do too much in terms of blinding people or anything like that. Haven't made up my mind yet on that kind of stuff. Maybe I'll just leave it the way it is. But so today I just want to show you what that's all about. If I reverse here, you can see that the light coverage is actually quite high. It goes maybe about I'm maybe about 10 feet away from the pillar, and the spread is up maybe 12-15 feet. So it is definitely pointing up. All right, so the other thing to notice about this kit is that I currently have HIDs in the high beams. So that's one of the reasons of why I wanted a daylight running light, is that the high beam HIDs doesn't turn on when the high beams are off. So as you can see, the daylight running light LEDs are on. It's on the pillar, but the signal here is still lit up because there's not enough resistance on the LEDs to make the computer think the lights are actually on. So what's ended up happening is with the fuse in there, the daylight running light comes on thinking that it's broken. There's no light bulb there or something like that. Now, when I turn the lights on, the daylight running light error goes away, because by factory standards, the daylight running light does not work when the small light or the low beams are on. The small light being this sort of like middle click. I really don't know why they have it there. Maybe it's just like, late afternoon driving kind of light where nothing's really on except for this marker. Or at nighttime when the actual headlights are on, the LEDs doesn't work, which is fine because obviously you have lights on so the people will know where you are. But if you have the high beams on, as such, when the high beams are on, since it's running off of the same circuit, the LEDs are actually on. So I'll show you that in a minute. Going back to the lights off state where the LED daylight running lights are on, I'm gonna park the car and check out the outside. So we're outside of the car right now, and you can see the daylight running lights on. The regular lights are off. And you can see there's definitely the two hot spots on the ground there. The spread, I would say, is about 45 degrees out that way, so it's not quite as wide as a fog light, but it's pretty decent. I think it's a little bit brighter than what OEM daylight running light LEDs are these days. You see the Mercedes out there with basically a similar location running light. And these are definitely larger LEDs and brighter LEDs. So this is the second mode where the markers are on. If you're driving in the afternoon or something like that, and the front marker and the side markers are on. You can see the daylight running light is still on. However, if we turn the low beams on, they will turn off. All right, so now the LED daylight running lights are off because the low beams are on. Currently, just the low beams and the fog lights are on, and you can actually see the strip where the LEDs are right now. The markers are on, but in this mode, in the regular driving mode, there's no light. And if you look at the ground, the LED spread was maybe about there, but not quite as bright, obviously. But the fog light is just a little bit wider, so it's actually pretty good. All right, lastly, the high beams, and you can see that the high beams are on, but the LEDs are also on. So it actually makes it look like there's high beams and fog lights on right now with the ground there, which might actually do pretty well at night when I'm driving in that mode. All right, so the second thing, guys, I wanted to showcase today was linking the side marker right here with the turning signals that are normally far out to the front. What I find is, you know, when you're passing other drivers, they don't necessarily see that turn signal. So this is a little bit safer, in my opinion. If you're on the highway and you're passing somebody, you signal, they'll see that turn signal far earlier than they otherwise would have. However, right now, this is in the daytime when the lights are off, but they will alternate when the lights are on. So this is when the low beams are on. Again, you can see the daylight running lights off on the bottom, and you can see the flashes are alternating between the marker and the turn signal.